Speaking of free kicks, Hayden Kennedy said the decision against Lyndon Dunn yesterday was correct. What do you make of that?
Oh, look, I think there's a very difficult job. I mean, one of the things I've learnt, I suppose, in 8 years, and, you can pick up the phone, you can talk to the umpires, but, I mean, there's so many different interpretations now. The rules have changed so dramatically over a course of time. It's an enormously difficult job, and, and I think Ross Lyon mentioned the other week, I mean, I think he said he didn't know the rules. And I'm not sure I don't know the rules, but to be perfectly frank, some of the decisions I have no idea why they get paid, but when the rules change so often, so much, and over the break, and I didn't speak to Wayne, but I texted Wayne about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's been a dramatic shift in the rules this year. I just wish they had come to us and told us, pre-season. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I wish that we had been told going into the season that the interpretations were going to change so significantly. So from that point of view, look, the umpire's umpire, we coach, and that's the way it should be.
That's a problem though, that's a problem though. Two experienced coaches like you and Ross are saying at times you don't know what's a free kick and what's not. I mean, how?
Well, I think the fans are saying that as well, and it's not a criticism of the umpires. I think what's happened is the confusion is a result of so many rule changes and interpretation changes that people are now going to the football and I'm not. I think if Hayden says that's a free kick, it's a free kick. But how many people in the stand would have said that was a free kick? So therein lies the problem. I mean, who in the room thought it was a free kick? So how many we got in the room?
Do you feel for the players in that sense?
So if we finish that conversation, there's 10 people in the room. Put your hand up if you thought it was a free kick. So everyone that saw it, so none of us thought it was a free kick. So I guess that's what I'm saying. But that's not let's not confuse that with a criticism of the umpires. What I'm saying is the rules have changed so significantly, and the interpretations have been changed dramatically from last season to this season, that not only the coaches, it's the fans that still really don't know. And Hayden's probably right. I don't know what the free kick was for, but if Hayden's saying it's a free kick, well, it's a free kick.
So does something have to be done, Paul, to clarify the situation, or is it just it is what it is?
Well, it seems that it is what it is. I mean, I guess one thing that there's always been a debate between coaches and umpires, and this is the wrong term. Well, I never thought there was a rule of the week, but I've always felt that if you're coaching the umpires and you feel like something's been missed, as I'm coaching the players and I feel like we're not doing well at stoppages, then I must tell the players we've got to do well at stoppages. One thing I feel where perhaps the fans get a bit cheated is if the umpires generally feel, look, we've been lenient on the push in the back, then send an email to all the coaches and say, look, this is a real focus area for this week. But what the umpires will always say is everything's a focus area, So that's probably, I suppose, the biggest debate that coaches have with Jeff and now Wayne. And, I don't mind. I think Hayden's there to coach if he feels like there's something, and I think that would help the public as well. If there's a weekly memo from the umpires saying, look, we feel the umpires are umpiring really well at this and this, but we feel like the 50-metre penalty or the hands in the back rule, so at least fans go to the weekend knowing, okay, let's not call it the rule of the week, but let's say the umpires are refocusing on something that it's a very, very difficult job. Let's be really clear on that. And I guess that's my thing with all the rule changes and interpretations. It's they've made it so hard for the game to umpire.
Do you feel sorry for the players in that regard, that if the coaches are not aware, players are out there in a split second, got to make a decision? Do you feel sorry for guys in that situation?
Well, I think I've always said if the whistle blows, you got to stop. The only problem with that is when you stop now, there's the advantage rule that's created by the whistle. So that's even compounds even more when. I think Tommy McDonald pushes, might have been Liam Jones in the back. 5 people stop. Gia comes in because he's smart, picks up the ball, runs fast, 5 people, kicks a goal, and we say that's an advantage rule. The advantage is only created by the whistle. That's the only reason Gia can come and pick it up. And I suppose that adds to the frustration there, because you tell players to stop. When the whistle, play to the whistle. Now if you stop and one smart player goes and picks up the ball, then he just runs off, kicks a goal. So, look, again, it's just very difficult. My message to players is just, when the whistle goes, just respond to the whistle. If it's a free kick, it's a free kick. That's the reality of the situation.
Haven't average decisions always been part of the game, mate?
What's that?
Haven't average decisions that you may not agree with always been part of the game? Do you think it's changed?
Oh, well, I suppose that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, but I guess what I'm saying is, when you start to get comfortable with them as a fraternity, it then changes again. So I think, that's probably part of that adds to the indecision. You're right. There's always going to be, and the umpires could rightly say, well, you guys miss goals from 10 metres out. Absolutely. And I don't think any of us are saying the umpires aren't going to make mistakes. Clearly, I don't have a problem, that if I ever rang Jeff and he said, look, Paul, that should have been a free kick. I can see that, because we're not perfect. I make mistakes, players make mistakes. But I think the problem arises when the interpretations change. So fans and players and coaches get used to a certain way of umpiring, and then it changes. And that's where the problem lies for the football public, because, as we said before, I mean, if Hayden's saying that's a free kick on Lyndon Dunn, it's a free kick, but how many of us at the game thought it wasn't a free kick? There's the problem.